So Kirti Kulhari, thank you so much for joining me on Mirror Now. It's an absolute pleasure. And the fact that I must say that you must be so used to people talking about the power-packed performances that you've been part of late, the kind of roles that you're choosing for yourself. So this is like a given. ये तो एक genuine question है, which I am sure you must be asked at the onset of every interview.
But you never get, no matter how many good things you hear about yourself, you never get tired of it. I'm sure we all agree to that. So please keep it coming.
So the kind of responses that you're getting as far as this particular show is concerned has been immense. One interesting thing that I actually noted down over here is that Kirti Kulhari is the pounding heart and the pulsing vein of the show. That's
ये तो full doctor की language use की है too. Oh wow, okay, that's sweet. That's sweet.
How important is it for you to probably have another actor, like I mentioned, another powerhouse performer, to play off that person? Or do you think you can carry, let's say, a film or a show on your shoulders if the role demands so? Or you'd always constantly look at a person or a fellow actor who you can play off?
So both the things are sort of correct. I mean, if I had to carry a film or something purely on my performance, I think I'm very capable of doing that. But at the same time, would I really enjoy doing that? No, I enjoy it much more when I have wonderful actors around me playing their parts so beautifully that it just takes the whole thing to another level, So it is, I mean, I can do what I can do, but my doing also becomes better when I have good actors in front of me, good actors doing their parts beautifully. So that is an ideal scenario. And for me, it is very important when I'm choosing a project, for me to know, to have people around me who I look up to, who are good actors, talented people. For me, that becomes very, very exciting. I mean, it may not always be in my control who comes on board, but it's very thrilling when you have good actors around you.
Mm-hmm. You've kind of been ruling the OTT space, and having said that, you've not really left the film part of it because you've taken it along, and it has been happening since, if I have to blanket put it, since 2010. So it's more than a decade that you've been in the industry. You've dabbled with both the spheres. Is there a particular choice that you're taking your career moving forward because you are doing selective projects and yet projects that can speak for itself? So is it like a conscious decision that you've taken as an actor, being in the industry, that you will be choosing your projects, in this particular fashion, taking lesser roles but important, impactful roles?
For me, less is more. I mean, for me, I can't do, in fact, even doing one series a year is quite a lot, actually. If you look at it, you're literally doing work equal to 3 films if you really had to compare. So it's a lot of work for sure, and it's exhausting. And I think I am not capable of doing too many things. I can't do more because I'm so invested and so into what I'm doing, and I like to live through that experience so completely that I think I'll not be doing justice to it if I try and do too much. And as an actor, you are giving out, so you also have to take time off to fill yourself again with new experiences, with life and everything that life is offering you otherwise.
So talking about taking a break and probably riding out of this entire scenario, you've literally rode into the new year on your new bike. So when is that holiday happening? Is it happening anytime soon?
I'm planning a June, July, because that's the best time to be in Ladakh for it's a good weather. It's the best weather to kind of roam around in Ladakh. And so that's what I'm targeting. And I'm going to start properly planning.
Why a bike? Why not a car?
So I think the thought came from the fact that I have a lot of motion sickness. in the mountains. Okay, and I love mountains. So I literally, matlab, I love it so much. And then it just kills me to kind of. So when I go, in terms of, I go go to the mountains, I'm either walking, which is what I did in last year, which I did last year, April. I went trekking in Uttarakhand. So there was no idea of motion sickness. I was just trekking for like 7 days, which was beautiful. So I think bike is the only thing that I can sort of, I will not feel the motion sickness very much on. So I think this is where the idea came from. 3 years back when I was shooting for Bard and my ex-husband came there and we went on the bike. Although I was a pillion then because मुझे चलानी नहीं आती थी. And I was like, you know what? I somehow didn't feel the motion sickness. So maybe this is a good idea. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much the idea. But also, I think it led to another idea of me just going out there and getting a bike for myself, like a, like a, something like a bullet, which is like, अरे अरे बहुत भारी है, मतलब कैसे संभालोगी, ये है वो है. I mean, all that is fine, but उसका थोड़ा टशन भी अलग है यार. Like riding a bullet is something else. So I think thanks to the idea of motion sickness and Ladakh and bike, that I got myself a bike in Bombay, and now I'm like, I'm so thrilled about it. I'm like so proud of myself that I went, people buy cars and stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to buy a bullet for myself. So yeah, this is what it led to.
So like you said, kaise sambhalogi, bullet hai and all of that. Have you ever heard something similar for one of the roles that you've done? You know, one of the detractors probably said, "Arey, what have you done? You know, why did you actually choose this thing? What are you doing? Why is this show like this or this film like this?" Kabhi aisa hua hai?
I think with my roles, I think people haven't spoken much because I have kind of proven myself with every role that I can do it. But yeah, I mean, like something like a Four More Shots, it did get a lot of flack for being the kind of show it is, for being bold in the way that we speak about, in terms of the whole idea of women and they choosing their own lives, they being comfortable with their sexuality, they choosing their sexual partners or other partners. I mean, the idea of multiple partners, so these are ideas that are not very well accepted, because they supposedly are not the right way to do things, according to some people. And I think that I did receive a bit of flack for that.
Like I mentioned, more than a decade in the industry. If you had to really I know it's a cliche question, but you had to sum up and probably talk about the high point of your career, which you thought probably brought you to a certain pedestal, from where people have started recognizing you and saying, okay, what will she do next? What was that point in your career?
I mean, I had these points, beach me, like Shaitan, I think was a very good start for me. But I kind of got lost after that for people. I mean, I was doing other things and I was figuring my things out. But after that, I think the high point that came really was Pink for me. I think Pink really put me on the map once again. While I think a lot of people must have presumed that I'm not in the industry, or I must have left acting or whatever. Pink brought me again back on the map in a very, very big way, in a very beautiful way. And I think after Pink, I mean, of course, I did some good work. I mean, some of it got recognized, some of it didn't get recognized. But I think again, Uri and Mission Mangal were very big. They were super duper hit films. So I think that also pushed. And I remember the same year, so I had Uri in Jan, I had Four More Shots season 1 in April, I think. Then I had Mission Mangal in August. So for me, that year was like, it just took me from strength to strength. And I think it really paved the way for a lot of things that I think are happening to me today.
Absolutely. And now you can talk about your own production house and Nykaa. The fact that this is something to look forward to. That is the juncture of your career that we are talking about now. Since then, I mentioned more than a decade. That's
Yeah.
something to be spoken about.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm so it's shocking that I'm here, I never knew of anything beyond acting. I never thought I would be anything but an actor. And and more than anything else, I never thought that it would be in someone like me. It would be in my capacity to even take this step to to have the audacity to open a production house and so-called turn into a producer. I never thought I
You
would.
say audacity.
Yeah, because I mean, when you hear of producers, it's a world with such big names, established people who have been doing this for years. I mean, where are you and who are you? But today, I think if I have taken this step, something inside me has made me feel and believe that I can do this. That I have the um, I have the um, I'm supported in a way by my own credibility, by the access that I have to people who might be interested in the kind of work I want to do. So something has made me believe and take this step, and I think what I believe has worked for me is the fact that I've always come at acting with very pure intentions. I have been run and driven by the purity with which I look at acting. I'm not trying to mess around with it. I'm not trying to fool you into believing I'm a good actor, and then become famous or make lots of money. I'm really just um, doing my work as an actor, which I believe in. And I think that purity of intention is the intention with which I come towards being a producer as well, because I really want to tell stories that matter to me, that I feel will matter to the world, and tell it my way. I mean, I want to have more control. I want to be at the center of telling the stories I truly truly believe in, and telling them the way I want to tell them.
Now, before I let you go, Kirti, a few quick questions. I don't like the term rapid fire, so I'm not going to use it. But I already did, but still. See, quick questions. I'd expect, like, obviously, quicker, impromptu responses.
Sure.
If there is a go-to compliment that you always receive, is there one?
Why do you glow so much?
Really?
Why do you glow so much? What do you do for your skin? Why are you so simple? Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, if you've had people always mispronouncing your last name.
Kulhari, Kulhari is actually kind of fine, actually. But more of, they actually mispronounce my first name more than the second name.
What
They
do they
keep
call
calling
you?
me Kriti. And
Why is
so
that? Kirti?
no. It's happened to me too many times to be like, it's just it just happens. It happens to a lot of people,
Okay,
including
all right.
journalists, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If there has been an audition or a film that you have been, refused from after being signed on, or probably after being okayed for.
Ye Sali Zindagi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. The one with Chitrangada.
Yeah, with which so Aditi did the role that I was kind of tested for. Yeah.
Okay, all right, interesting. Okay, a question that you've become really, you're just tired of answering. One particular question that you've often received.
Why? Basically, the idea of looking back at your career and your life, how's the journey been? I think this is one question that I'm really tired of.
Did I ask that?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right. One quality in your future partner, boyfriend, husband that you'd really like to have.
Integrity and honesty.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. If you wish to change something about this industry, about your industry, what would that thing be?
I think I want my industry to really grow up. Yeah, like I want the conversations and discussions around filmmaking and how amazing it needs to be, and it has to be, to go beyond just a drawing room. Like I want to really see people pushing themselves and really coming out with some amazing content. I really, while we can all discuss it a lot and people do have discussions around all of that, I'm still not happy with the kind of content we actually create. Yeah.
And one final thing that you wanted changed as far as the perception of female actors in the industry, not just within the industry, but also from the outside, probably us journalists asking you questions. What would that one thing be that should change as far as perception of a female actor is concerned?
आप लोगों की बनती है दूसरे female actors से? I've answered that question too many times, and I'm like,
Cat fights.
Yeah, and I'm just like, guys, grow up, please, yeah, please. It's not like you see another woman and you just start like fighting with them and you start having problems with that. Like, it really makes me think, where does this come from? Like, where does this idea come from? Ki do ladkiyan ya do log, do females ek saath mein, they can't coexist, even if they are supposedly competing with each other, in that area, like. Yeah.
Then it's very strange. It's not asked to men, or probably they run the risk of getting boxed back.
It's something that we all need to sit back and say where is it coming from? Where is this conditioned idea coming from? So yeah.
Or even for the fact that women cannot have strong ideas or perceptions about certain things in society. Because I believe so much was made about when you said that marriage is overrated. So much was said, okay, Kirti ne ye keh diya. Why do you think that happens?
Because I think we are just not used to, as you said, having people, and especially women, question the existing ideas of the society. Matlab, marriage is such a strong idea in our society. And for a woman to question the fact ki, bhai, why is marriage so important? You can be an equally successful and independent and have an equally beautiful life even without it. So I think we just don't we don't expect women to speak up for themselves. And secondly, if those women are speaking about some very, very strong ideas that are pillars of our society, फिर तो मतलब हाँ, मतलब कूद ही जाओ पहाड़ से. Just die. Yeah.
Okay, Kirti, thank you so much for doing this with me, and I wish you all the very best, not just for humans, but for your future projects. May you completely and continue to actually rock with your performances like you've been doing. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kirti.